Best Singer-Songwriter competition, and the Susquehanna Music and Arts Festival contest, second place, finalist for the Indie Girl Songwriting contest. I mean, it's we're talking about like 4 years, 4 years, and you've done like a lot of really cool.
Yeah, well, I started so late in life. I felt like I had a lot of catching up to do. So I've been very ambitious.
XPN local pick of the day. I mean, just getting played on XPN is like a major thing, because I'm sure they have people coming at them all the time. They get all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
So if you're listening out there, if you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs live from WNJR Studios at 91.7 FM in Washington, Pennsylvania, and we're streaming live at WNJR.org. I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we have Jessica Smucker here in the studio. She's coming from Lancaster, the Philadelphia area, and great. I'm really enjoying your songs as a songwriter. I like to be entertained intellectually too. Not just, it's cool stuff. So my question is, like, where can people find out more about you and find your gigs?
Probably the best thing is my website is just jessicasmucker.com, and I don't actually have my music directly on the website, but there's a link to I have 2 MySpace pages that have songs that stream, and pretty much all the information that anybody would want, where to buy stuff, all of that is on my website. So
gonna have to move it off of MySpace though. I just heard.
Are they?
I just heard on
down?
CD Baby's podcast, DIY podcast I listen to, and they, so I guess they're laying off like 50% of their workforce, and they're putting themselves up for sale. So well, and I don't really update my MySpace pages that much. I pretty much use it as a place to store music, but I also have some of my music on my Sonic Bids press kit, and that's just sonicbids.com/Jessica Smucker. There's so many places out there that it to me it just makes me crazy.
I know, yeah. It's a lot to maintain, actually.
I don't endorse any, or soliciting any endorsements from any of these websites or anything, but I've had so many different ones, and the one, Sonic Bids, since I do endorse them because we do get the listings from them, and I have a listing up at Sonic Bids /acousticSongs. But now that they bought out Artist Data, Artist Data was probably the website that I liked prior to now they bought them. You could go one location, put everything in it, just spread it everywhere, and I was like, wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about your background and how you got into songwriting, and your background in the Mennonite community, and what have you done any tours where you've played some festivals, right? You were telling me.
Yeah, actually 2 weeks ago I was down in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, at the 30A Songwriters Festival, which was a fantastic festival. I cannot say enough good things about it.
30A?
30A. 30A is a highway down there, and the festival actually spanned like 15 miles. They had 18 venues, I think about 120 artists, and I was just, it's only the second year that the festival has taken place, and it was so organized. The level of talent across the board was great. The sound was, it was just a very well-run festival, so that was cool. I don't typically travel quite that far, especially because, a lot of times with festivals you're sort of banking on the exposure, but not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily pay for itself in an immediate sense. I will be at Solarfest in Vermont again this summer, since I won the songwriting contest last year, and now I'm invited back to the main stage.
That's
so
cool.
my part of my band will be there with me.
Tell me about that. What's that about?
It's, that's a really cool festival too. It's a festival that's focused around solar energy and energy alternatives, and really I've played a few of those. This is the most comprehensive one I've seen, and they all of their stage, their lighting, their sound, everything is solar powered, and it was good. It was very high quality sound. and then they have a lot of booths and speakers. They had Bill McKibben was the keynote speaker last year. I don't know who they have for this year, but it's a really great festival. There's a lot of music and there's a lot of other stuff going on as well.
Wow.
And it's one that it's very grassroots. It's sort of homegrown and yet I think a lot of people from the region go there, and I just had a great experience. So I'm excited to go back there this year.
I've got to go there because I was telling you about my environmental involvement, and I'm locally here at the Center for Coalfield Justice, and we have just dirty energy everywhere.
Yeah,
here,
yeah, oh yeah.
There's and so I have this goal to go off the grid.
You should definitely check out Solarfest then. And it's so cool to be part of a musical experience that also feels like you're contributing to a greater cause too. My brother is a lifelong political activist and organizer, and it's something that I've really early in my 20s I really struggled with. Okay, well, my brother's out there doing all this really great stuff, and I'm just being an artist.
What does he do, like social justice stuff?
He worked for Move On. He worked for the War Resisters League. He worked for a bunch of different. I mean, he's done stuff with Earth First. He's done stuff with School of the Americas Watch. He's been all over the place. He just quit everything to go back to school, which is interesting. But that was something for me my whole life. It was like, well, here's this person in my life who's doing these very tangible things to try to make things better, and finding relevance as an artist is something that I really believe that art is relevant. I believe that songs and poems and art can move people to action, but it's not as obvious of a it's. So when I get to play at something like Solarfest, where it feels like it's a worthwhile event on a larger level than just my own artistic vision, that means a lot to me.
Well, hey, I'm going to try to put together a show of people who played here on the station, and it's going to be that type of thing. So
great.
I hope maybe you'll come back and join us,
be great.
maybe with the full band. We're still in the preliminary stages of trying to find a venue and do it every year, but it'll do that type of thing, which I know exactly what you're talking about, and I have always agreed with all of those things, I would say anti-war type things, or pro-peace, however you want to put it, but my sitting on the sidelines from my couch saying, yeah, go do that. And this year was the first year that I actually got to go and go on a protest march, or a day of action in D.C. for the mountaintop removal stuff. And
I have some really good friends in Lancaster who are very involved with that, and actually bluegrass musicians who are very involved with that.
I got to play down there, which was amazing to me. And then we started marching down the street and stopping in front of the EPA and chanting, "Do your job, EPA." It was. I've never been involved in anything like that, and it really was. It was amazing. But we could talk about that offline. What would you like to do for us? Another one of these songs that you entered? Is that something? I was looking at that
I will do the winning song.
Is it off of your new?
It's not actually. It's on. I would like to redo it with the band at some point, but it is on. It's on the Reluctantly Yours EP, which I should also say. All of these are available on iTunes as well as at CD Baby.
Cool.
But we have this idea for this song with the band that is going to be sort of epic, this huge sound. But for right now, we'll do the simple version.
What's the name of it?
It's called Sweet and Broken.
Okay.